Fellow cardboarders, welcome back! As many of you know, I went to CommandFest about 2 weeks ago and I brought along a couple of signed cards since I was able to meet Jeff A. Menges, and he was so kind as to not only sign 4 cards but actually almost sign 2 pages full of cards here. And yeah, he was really kind because I wasn't sure if he would sign them all. And when I approached him, I started picking out some cards and I was like, maybe if we could like sign 5 or so of these cards, maybe my favorite ones, that would be perfect. But he was so kind as to sign them all. That's a little better with the lighting. And we were able to talk a little about the cards and my favorite cards and his favorite cards from the bunch here I brought along. And I kept those cards in here for the last couple of weeks till I was able to actually make this video, because I wanted to share the cards and the art and the signatures with you if you're about to buy a signed card by a Jeff A. Menges. Maybe you want to check out how he signs, what his signature looks like, to be able to check with this video. These are all signed by the artist. Or maybe you want to hear about a little story about the card Haunting Wind, which is actually my favorite card from the bunch here, and I made a whole video about 1 or even 2 years ago about why I think that this card is so amazing in Commander. And I asked him about what inspired him to do this art piece here, how it came along, and I let him shine it in a so-called shadow signature, so he signs in gold or silver and then gives it a little touch of black, so it looks like it gives it like a little 3D effect. And since this is my favorite card and I have 3 of these in my Antiquities set cube, I wanted to have them shadow signed. All of these 3, since these are my favorite cards. I really like how the artwork looks and how the colors complement each other, the little creepiness of the art, and yeah, just everything about it. I really like it. And yeah, this is my way to kind of bling out my set cube. And while he was signing, I asked him about how the art came along, and this is what he said.
Well, the best story I can tell you about Haunting Wind is that when they described what they wanted, I had just done a cover for a role-playing game called Black Death for Ars Magica role-playing. And it involved these spirits of the dead that were twirling in the air around a wizard. So when they described Haunting Wind, I was like, I just did that, I can do it right again. Yeah. So you should look up that cover and you'll see right away the inspiration for Haunting Wind.
I'll do that, yeah.
So after a little digging, I was able to find the Black Death cover page artwork that he did. I almost mistook it with another one, but I found his signature from 1991 on this artwork here. And you can actually see the resemblance of the kind of creepy style, the ghosts with the hairs flowing around and the kind of creepy dark energy or aura that this art gives. And yeah, this was amazingly depicted in this card here from Antiquities. Now let's look at the other cards here for a moment, just appreciate the artworks that he did over the years. He hasn't painted in over like 25 years or so, so that's kind of sad, of course, but he's still attending MTG events and signs cards, is there to have a little chat with and yeah, sign cards. So Master of the Hunt, which is in my Legends set cube. I didn't buy any of these from him. He's only selling artist proofs, and that's not what I'm into currently and collecting. I am collecting normal cards with normal backs for my set cube, so this will go into my Legends set cube. With War Mammoth, I wanted to have at least one of each card from Jeff A. Menges signed by him, So if I have commons like War Mammoth, I wanted at least one, so this is my kind of foil version of this card. And I really like this art. Tried to pick out some nicer versions condition-wise. We have the Urza's Chalice here. For example, the Mons Goblin Raiders I didn't take along since I had like 4 LP copies and they were just not nice enough to be put into the set cube. So I chose not to have them signed by him. Maybe I will find a nicer copy along the way, or maybe I will meet him again. I asked him about his favorite piece from all the cards I brought along, and he told me that the tracker was his favorite one from them, alongside other ones, but I also wanted some special reserved list card to be signed, so the tracker was the one he picked. And I really like the art on here, the seasons that are changing here, maybe between fall and winter is on the art. You have like snow on here, maybe it's melting, maybe it's even getting spring currently and the snow is melting. And yeah, the person looks really cool. And it's quite a unique card, and I also let him shadow sign this one, so this one is also kind of shiny. And I'm glad to put this into the dark set cube, back into it, and be able to cherish it forever and have the memory of him signing it. A giant turtle we have here. A recently accumulated Firestorm Phoenix, which has also some amazing artwork. A water elemental. This one is really subtle, you know, like back in the day they didn't tell the artist what they should actually paint and they should just be inspired by the name Water Elemental. And like you have this person in the boat and there's actually a water elemental in the wave kind of hidden. There's a face you can see and like a hand that is kind of trying to jerk away the paddle from the person in the ship, so that's kind of cool. Have the grizzly bears here as well. A Willer Satyr, really unique card effect as well. I asked him to sign in the middle here because I wanted to be able to still read the card, and there was like a gap in between here that was better fitting to have the signature of him. So most of them, as you've seen, are down here. I think 1 or 2 he signed in the middle just to be able to read the card still while I play it in my set cubes, so that people can still read the card, not the art. And the text box. We have the Fire and Brimstone, which is still able to be read. That's what was important for me. Next to getting the signature, Wolverine Pack, another common from Legends. We have Sea Serpent here, another really nice art that is very similar in style with the Water Elemental here from the color scheme and the waves, and maybe it's the same ocean, maybe the same person in the water. We will never know. Oaken Shield. Here you can't read the flavor text anymore, but yeah, that's fine for me, or not as easily, but I wanted to have the effects so readable. It was also really cool art, I think, with the pretty horse. Martyr's Cry. Here again, I asked him to sign in the middle so the flavor text could still be read. Then we have the Deep Water, which is the dark card, and yeah, kind of weird enchantment no one would ever play outside of, well, a set cube maybe. Got Divine Offering from Legends, another common, I think. Got the Black Knight, which is quite an iconic card and quite good for 2 black, a protection from white, first strike 2/2. Back in the day that was quite powerful. This one is an amazing zombie card that many people forget about that exists. So it gives all your zombies Regenerate and Swamp Walk for just 3 mana. So maybe you want to consider getting one yourself. Here again, the flavor text isn't really readable again, so isn't readable anymore, but like you can still figure it out, I think. And the copy, the condition of the copy was still also really nice, and glad to have this one in my unlimited set cube. And lastly, we have the Battering Ram, which also has a cool castle on it. And yeah, let's put down in the comments what your favorite artwork of Jeff A. Menges is, maybe from these cards you can see here, or any card you know by him or owned by him. Have you ever met him? I found him to be a very sympathetic person, a very kind soul, and I'm really glad to put all of these into my collection and cherish them forever. I wish you all a beautiful weekend or whenever you see this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.